Right now at 5, crews respond to a house fire in North Carl Junction.
And we've got some scattered showers and storms out there this morning, a few more today, and tracking the potential for severe weather tomorrow. The latest coming up.
Plus, search teams find a teenage boy after he spent more than 3 days surviving on his own.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday, September the 2nd. Hopefully everybody had a good Labor Day. A little bit soggy out there from time to time, but we have needed the rain. It'd be better if it came, when we were at work, like we discussed yesterday. We do have some scattered showers and storms out there this morning. We'll have a few more through today. And then we've got our chances tomorrow we'll discuss a little later. First, though, let's get our Tuesday started with our look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Right now, dry. In fact, a good portion of us are dry, but again, we have showers and storms picking up in our western counties. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin also looking good this morning. All right, so here's where we've got them. No lightning being picked up, at least no cloud-to-ground lightning being picked up with this activity back through Greenwood and Elk counties, parts of Montgomery County, Washington County. You can see some heavier rain now just outside of our immediate area there, northeast of Tulsa. But that's it so far. All of this activity, and some of it's actually kind of flared up pretty quickly here, is moving very slowly off to the south and east. And if you look, you can see where that spin was from that low pressure system. That's what's been bringing us our shower chances. So our chances today, again, are going to be isolated to widely scattered, but they'll be with us for a good portion of the day. So not everyone necessarily will see rain today, but some of us will get some additional isolated to scattered showers and storms out there before they eventually begin to die out around 8 o'clock or so this evening. We're looking pretty good overnight tonight. Now, tomorrow is a bit of a different story. We talked about Storm Prediction Centers kind of looking at some data, determining if they were going to bring up a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather, and they did with the update this morning into southeastern Kansas. And now we have the level 2 out of 5, and the level 1 out of 5 for tomorrow has been expanded really long and immediately south of I-44 and then points north of that. And we're going to break down the details on what you need to know with these storm chances as we head into Wednesday with your full forecast in just a few more minutes. Again, getting your day started though, 64 both Joplin and Pittsburgh, and across the area temperatures hanging out for the most part low to mid 60s. We do have some upper 60s a little further west. Independence, the warm spot right now, sitting at 67 as we get this day underway. Fort Scott a little cooler at 61. Kids back to school today, so we'll have some scattered storms this morning, mid 60s, upper 70s by lunch and recess time. Isolated storms, and same when that bus takes them home, right around 79 this afternoon. That's where our highs are headed. We'll go upper 60s by 9, upper 70s by noon, and we'll hold on to the upper 70s, kind of leveling out, because as we get a little closer to fall, we're starting to move our peak heating times up a bit. So highs today near 80 degrees, again with those chances for rain, again slowly but surely dying off later this evening. Again, we have our severe threat tomorrow. We're going to break down the details on what we're looking at in terms of the potential hazards and the timing of these storms here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, emergency crews respond to a 2-alarm fire yesterday morning in Carl Junction. Crews responded to the house fire on Nicholas Lane in North Carl Junction just before 5:15 yesterday morning. On scene, first responders saw heavy smoke coming from the roof and attic area. The initial investigation suggests the fire originated just outside the garage in a trash can on the side of the house. Crews have not determined what was in the trash can at the time. Everyone made it out of the house safely and without injury. Well, rain may have played a part in an SUV overturning on Interstate 44 yesterday. Reports of the crash came in just before 9:30 yesterday morning near the tri-state line in Oklahoma. Sources say there were no injuries and traffic continued as the crash was off the roadway. Steady rain had drenched the interstate. Experts say to reduce the risk of hydroplaning, drivers should slow down in wet conditions, ensure tires have adequate tread, and avoid sudden maneuvers. A 16-year-old boy has died following a UTV crash in McDonald County, Missouri. Reports of the crash came in just before 11:30 a.m. yesterday. Troopers say the driver of the UTV, which was being driven on private property, attempted to make a turn and crashed. The driver from Bentonville, Arkansas, was pronounced dead at the scene. A 13-year-old boy is recovering after surviving a 250-foot fall into a ravine and spending more than 3 days alone before being rescued. His incredible story of endurance and survival is inspiring people across the country. Rescuers say the boy used remarkable resourcefulness, enduring cold nights and rough terrain until he was found hungry but safe by search teams. While many families are spending the last days of summer on lakes around the area, law enforcement has a strong message for parents to head off tragedy. The message comes after several children have drowned at the Lake of the Ozarks this year. As Emma McDarris reports, emergency workers have some advice they say every parent needs to know.
Here at Lake of the Ozarks, firefighters and first responders have seen 6 child drownings this summer. These agencies have banded together to remind parents to call 911 immediately if their child is missing.
Every fire, EMS, and law enforcement agency in the lake area signed off on this to get the message out to call 911. And the tagline with it is, it's not embarrassment, it's being proactive.
The Sunrise Beach Fire Protection District released this strong message this morning in response to the deadly incidents they responded to this summer.
We saw some delays, not just with those incidents, but with some other ones where people weren't calling 911 immediately and doing searches themselves.
The fire chief says that they can get resources to parents more quickly as they search for the missing child. Families that are very familiar with the area say they try to understand where they are on the lake in case they do have to call.
I'll try to maybe look for the closest business, such as a gas stock like this. Yes, definitely call 911 and try to figure out where you're at by land.
Firefighters also encourage everyone on a boat or in the lake to wear a life jacket and to keep small children or weak swimmers within an arm's distance. The Sunshine Beach Fire Chief says this PSA isn't trying to embarrass anyone who may call and not have an emergency, but promote proactive actions that could save a life.
And our point to this whole thing is, get us out there. We can always turn everybody around, but to have the help there as quickly as possible helps create a better positive outcome.
The plan also says this information is the same for elderly family members who wander away. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Congress returns to Washington with less than a month to prevent a federal government shutdown. Plus, researchers find dramatic differences when patients are hospitalized for heart failure based on race. And we're tracking more rain chances today. Chris has another look at your forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:07. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch, like millions of Americans, Congress returns to work today. Lawmakers in Washington have until September 30th to pass a bill to keep the government funded, though it remains to be seen if Republicans and Democrats can work together with President Trump to get it done. There's continued fallout from the firing of the director of Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, with multiple former CDC leaders publicly questioning the leadership of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. CBS News' Tina Kraus has more from London.
Congress returns to Washington today with less than a month to avert a federal government shutdown.
It's going to be passed exclusively by Republicans.
President Trump predicted a bill to keep the government funded might squeak through in a partisan vote. Last week, the House and Senate's top Democrats again called for a meeting with their GOP counterparts to help fund the government in a bipartisan way. Congressional committees are juggling several high-profile issues this week, including the House bipartisan investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's files, and ongoing fallout from the firing of CDC Director Susan Minares, which was followed by the resignation of other top CDC officials.
Something is wrong when politics rules science.
In a New York Times op-ed, 9 former CDC directors and acting directors raised concerns about Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s oversight of the department, writing, "We are worried about the wide-ranging impact that all these decisions will have on America's health security." Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is demanding Kennedy resign, though the White House has defended him.
Secretary Kennedy has been a crown jewel of this administration.
RFK Jr. is expected to face tough questions at a scheduled Senate hearing Thursday, while the Associated Press is reporting President Trump could be considering a 200% or higher tariff on pharmaceutical imports. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Yesterday, one of President Trump's top trade advisors, Peter Navarro, expressed optimism that the U.S. Supreme Court will uphold the president's so-called Liberation Day reciprocal tariffs. Last week, a federal court had ruled the president exceeded his authority in enacting the tariffs, though the decision allowed for them to continue through mid-October to give them time for an appeal to the high court yesterday. Navarro claimed the U.S. would lose all sorts of bargaining power if the tariffs are struck down. Well, still to come, from The Rock's dramatic transformation to TikTok fame gone wrong to Lady Gaga's VMA return, entertainment news is buzzing. We'll take a look. Plus, tracking rain chances, Chris has a look at your Tuesday forecast. Well, a blockbuster actor is taking on a more serious role, and a new documentary dives into the potentially dangerous pitfalls of social media stardom. CBS's Jared Hill has those stories and more in your Eye on Entertainment report from New York.
Have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
An almost unrecognizable Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is taking on his most dramatic role yet. The wrestler turned actor is playing UFC champ Mark Kerr in the new biopic, The Smashing Machine. During a press conference at the Venice Film Festival, Johnson spoke about his desire to flex his acting muscles in new ways after building his career in blockbuster movies.
A lot of times it's harder for us to, or at least for me, sometimes to know what you're capable of when you've been pigeonholed into something.
The Smashing Machine opens in theaters October 3rd.
I've been lusting after William White, who's younger than my son.
A new Paramount Plus docuseries is taking a deep look into the rapid rise of 21-year-old TikToker William White. Thirst Trap, the fame, the fantasy, the fallout shows how the creator gained millions of followers in an instant. But what seemed like innocent interactions with fans turned into a story of jealousy, blackmail, and betrayal.
It's my privacy, so it's not okay. If it gets too much of an obsession, that is scary.
The series premieres September 9th on Paramount Plus. The MTV Video Music Awards are less than a week away, and Lady Gaga will return to perform on the VMA stage for the first time in 5 years. She's also the leading nominee with 12 nods. The 2025 MTV VMAs will air live this Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
All right, very exciting. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, again, we've got some scattered showers and a few rumbles of thunder starting to build into our western counties. All of us could see an additional round of isolated showers and storms later today. We'll talk about that and our upcoming severe weather chances tomorrow evening when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 5:18. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 5:20 on this Tuesday morning. We're starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We do have some showers and even a few rumbles of thunder here and there. So we're going to start right here with this cluster. This is stretching from around Howard, just southwest of Yates Center. It's getting into Fredonia as well. A good portion of Elk County out there in southeastern Greenwood County as well. Again, remember with the Skywatch Storm Tracker, it does only pick up cloud to ground lightning, not cloud to cloud. But wouldn't be surprised if you're hearing at least some rumbles of thunder with this. Got a heavier shower rolling in to Sedan right now. Another moderate shower just to the east of Caney into Montgomery County. There's some heavier showers here through Washington County, including around Bartlesville, just west of Lenapaw and Newata, and then stretching down toward Oologah and Claremore. So again, just outside of our immediate area, but you can see slightly heavier rain down there as well. All of this activity is moving off to the south and east, but if you look, you can see out into Osage County where there's new development taking place right back through here, back into Chautauqua County, and then some development taking place southwest of Washington County. Not expecting anything strong or severe with this activity, but this is just part of what we're looking at. It's not going to be rain everywhere all at once today, but we will have, again, the continued chances for isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head through the afternoon and into the evening hours. So not all of us will see rain today. Some of you may just simply have the clouds nearby, but not actually getting any kind of precipitation precipitation. Once we get past about 8 o'clock this evening, it's done. It's over. We'll have partly cloudy skies overnight, and our Wednesday not looking too bad initially. Most of Wednesday is great. We'll have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. We will be warmer. We'll be dry, but it's after about 5 o'clock or so we start to see opportunities for showers and storms associated with that cold front. So here you can see by 7 into our far northern counties, we're seeing thunderstorm activity build in. By 9, we've got from Fredonia, Yates Center, Chanute, Fort Scott, Nevada, so stretching back from northeast to southwest across the region. A few showers outside of that. And some of these storms, as they push through, even through the 11 o'clock hour, while we don't have as many of them, you can still see that wind shift line. Here comes that front. Now we've got storms by 11 just outside of Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Lamar, Jasper, Nevada, Stockton, back down toward Joplin, Neosho, Anderson, Cassville. We'll have those showers and storms out there, and some of those could be strong to severe. Now, overnight into early Thursday morning, some isolated showers will still be a possibility, but we'll start to see those kind of wind down. Our Thursday will start mostly cloudy, maybe a sprinkle or two, and then the rest of Thursday looks pretty good. So let's break down those threats for you in terms of these storms. We do have at this point an isolated or that 1 out of 5 risk for tornadoes into southeastern Kansas. This is a very isolated risk. It's a pretty low risk, but it's there. So it's something we want to watch. The greater concerns, though, the reason that level 2 out of 5 risk is up is going to be for large hail, and these hatch marks indicating the potential for very large hail, and then damaging wind gusts 60 miles an hour or greater. So that's what we want to watch. And again, the timing at this point still on track. After about 6-7 o'clock tomorrow evening, that's when you want to make sure you've got an eye to the sky. Again, mostly cloudy skies start, a few scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms out there, mid-60s by 8 or mid-70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Again, our highs today reaching near 80 tomorrow, low mid-80s out there, upper 70s for our Thursday with again a few lingering showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder. Weekend looking pretty good, and we head into the start of next week with some additional shower and thunderstorm chances. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, thanks. Well, black adults in the U.S. are hospitalized with heart failure nearly 14 years before white patients. A Northwestern University study also found Hispanic patients are hospitalized around 8 years earlier than white patients, and Asian patients about 3 years earlier. The study authors say the reasons include health insurance status and educational and economic disparities, which can limit access to quality health care. A new treatment approach is showing promise preventing breast cancer from returning. A University of Pennsylvania clinical trial found it's possible to identify breast cancer survivors at risk of their cancer coming back by locating dormant cancer cells in their bodies. Already existing cancer drugs were able to clear those dormant cancer cells in 80% of the trial's participants. Depression may make it harder for people to learn to avoid unpleasant events in their life. Researchers from the University of British Columbia tested hundreds of participants by exposing them to unpleasant sounds. People with more severe depression struggled to learn to avoid the sounds. It's still not clear how depression affects the brain's ability to avoid unpleasant events. And that's a look at Health Watch. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, community leaders and politicians voice concerns over efforts to redraw Missouri's 5th district.
And scattered showers and thunderstorms out there this morning. A few more through the day. We'll have a look at your Tuesday forecast coming up.
Plus, Joplin community members use the Labor Day holiday to make their voices heard.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:28. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday, September the 2nd. Of course, we had Labor Day yesterday. Hopefully everybody had a good one. I was a bit on the wet side, but maybe you got some stuff done inside of me if you were laboring at home. I'm working on a project at home, so I got some painting done because it's all indoors. A little easier to do when you're indoors, and hopefully you're able to achieve something excellent on your Labor Day, even if maybe it was just a good nap. And today, it's going to be another good day for a nap, honestly. A few scattered showers and storms throughout the afternoon, and we have a few out there right now. But first, let's start with our look outside. Downtown Pittsburgh looking pretty good so far. We've got cloudy skies, or at least mostly cloudy skies this morning. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin also looking good as well. So here's Skywatch Storm Tracker. Scattered showers, thunderstorms in the western half of our area here. So we don't have anything strong or severe, nor are we expecting anything like that. But we have seen some new development that's been taking place around some of this activity, and now back behind it into parts of Greenwood County. So it's all moving south and east, and you can see where the new development here is taking place, and these little showers back into Greenwood County. Not much to them, and that's really going to be the trend throughout our Tuesdays. These will be isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. So not everyone today will get rain. Some of us will, and not everyone necessarily will have a rumble of thunder to go along with it. Might just get a rain shower similar to what we saw for some parts of the area yesterday. And as we get to about 8 o'clock or so, last of the little drizzle sprinkles should be on their way out. However, tomorrow, we had that level 1 out of 5 risk roughly in this zone here into southeast Kansas, but the Storm Prediction Center was already talking about maybe adding a level 2 out of 5 risk, and they have decided to do that. So the data is suggesting maybe some stronger, slightly more intense storms are possible into parts of southeast Kansas where that 2 out of 5 risk is, and accordingly, the 1 out of 5 has been expanded for most of the area out there. So we're going to break down the details on the timing of these storms, the hazards, what we're kind of looking at as we head into our Wednesday in just a few more minutes. But again, getting your Tuesday started. The matrix there, 63 in Joplin, 64 in Pittsburgh right now, and across the area, temperatures for the most part, again, hanging out in the low to mid 60s. We've got a cooler spot. Fort Scott sitting at 61. The warm spot now is Sedan sitting at 68 degrees as we get this day underway. So kids getting on the bus, get some scattered storms, mid 60s out there. Lunch and recess, isolated thunderstorm chances will be into the upper 70s. Same by the time they get home. Just a few isolated storms, and not too bad in terms of these temperatures. Upper 60s by 9. Upper 70s is where we're going to head for our highs, maybe right about 80 degrees. And as you look at this, the rain chances will begin to drop off the further we go into the evening. As I mentioned, we got our severe threat tomorrow. We're going to break down all those details for you and what you need to know here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks. Well, hundreds gathered at Mill Creek Park yesterday, not just to celebrate Labor Day, but to speak on issues like redistricting and workers' rights. Community leaders, union members, and politicians, including Representative Emmanuel Cleaver, voiced concerns over efforts to redraw Missouri's 5th district in what they called threats to democracy. Organizers say they won't be silent as lawmakers prepare to take up the redistricting fight later this week. Universities across the country have been the targets of swatting calls recently, putting students, staff, and police on high alert. Chris Bryant spoke with Missouri State University leaders about the tool they use to keep the Springfield campus informed about emergencies.
Swatting calls have one thing that they're trying to create, and that's hysteria.
Since August 21st, college campuses across the nation have been the targets of these swatting calls. And just Tuesday morning, West Virginia University was added to that list.
So whenever you pinpoint a college campus as the source of a swatting call, now you got multiple agencies responding.
For Missouri State University,
we think about these sorts of things all the time, so it's always on our mind here at University Safety, but it isn't on everyone's mind everywhere else that is operating outside the public safety environment.
As classes are just underway, the campus community is currently taking the campus safety classes.
Staff and faculty and students are taking 3 classes that we assign as mandatory training, and part of that includes the active shooter response.
And this academic year, the university is introducing a new app to help alert the campus.
Rolled out the Bear Shield app, which was part of upgrading our entire emergency notification system. We can more easily isolate the incident when it's occurring, but also notify students and staff and faculty on what to do and where to stay away from.
The app can also be used by those that are visiting the campus, either for education, sports, or the performing arts.
You don't even have to make a call. You can initiate a chat or submit a tip with pictures, and that information goes immediately to our dispatchers. They see it right away. They get an alert.
And there's a safety feature that won't allow you to make a fake call if you're off campus.
So if you hit the panic button and you're off campus, it immediately diverts you to 911.
While recent events have been found to be hoaxes, that doesn't mean people shouldn't make a report if they see something.
But every individual needs to treat any notification that there's an active shooter as a credible threat and to initiate those policies or actions that they have trained or practiced and start implementing those immediately until proven otherwise.
Another recent swatting incident happened at Kansas State University just last month. On K-State's first day of classes, a hoax call reported active violence at the Hale Library, leading to a campus lockdown until officers determined the report was false. Community members in Joplin used the holiday yesterday to protest. Protesters stood at 7th and Rangeline to advocate for workers and everyday citizens over billionaires. They advocate for protection and expansion of Medicaid and Social Security. Organizers say working people built the nation and that, quote, the billionaires' time is up.
We're here to simply let the folks out there know in the event that they're questioning what's happening, going on in this country, in and around Joplin and in this country. If they feel like things are just not right, they're not alone.
Protests like the one held in Joplin took place across the United States yesterday. Well, dreary weather didn't stop some friendly competition in Joplin yesterday. Some disc golf athletes celebrated Labor Day with casual doubles rounds at McClellan Championship Disc Golf Complex. More than 30 people came out to play, including different groups and teams. One group, called the Trees Nuts, even came out from Springfield to get some play in.
Disc golf is mostly free, and a lot of folks from different economic backgrounds enjoy disc golf who maybe ball golf isn't approachable for.
At the end of this month, the Joplin Disc Golf Club will host the 20th annual Four States Open Disc Golf Tournament at the park. A new state-of-the-art facility will soon be erected in Pittsburgh. The project is a collaboration between the Kansas Bureau of Investigation and PSU. KOAM's Anthony Saviello explains.
The Kansas Bureau of Investigation is about to get a new facility with a whole bunch of new bells and whistles, and it's also going to benefit Pittsburgh State students as well. According to Kansas Bureau of Investigation Director Tony Matavy, the Bureau has faced numerous challenges in its current location and is needed to transition to a more reliable facility, and that's where Pitt State comes in. This area of land is where the new $40 million, 53,000 square foot facility is expected to be built. The project was covered by a mix of state and federal funds. Over the past year, the project has been in the planning and funding phases, and during that time, the Kansas Bureau of Investigation has used the Tyler Research Center to conduct its business. And while the Bureau of Investigation will still have to use the Tyler Research Center for a little while longer while the new facility is being built, come Friday, September 5th, it's just a little while longer before they have their very own state-of-the-art facility. In Pittsburgh, Kansas, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The facility will also house the PSU Police Department and collaborative workspaces for local, state, and federal law enforcement. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The president demands immediate answers about disagreements over life-saving drugs in a new social media post. Plus, new research suggests binge watching your favorite shows may actually boost your memory. We'll have the latest. Time now, 5:37. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, in Consumer Watch, President Trump is calling on pharmaceutical companies to justify their COVID drug results. In a social media post, the president said there are disagreements over the life-saving effects of the drugs, adding, "I want the answer and I want it now." CVS and Walgreens have said they're limiting access to the COVID vaccine in some states after the FDA authorized the latest shots only for people over 65 or with health conditions. And the Trump administration's immigration policies are reshaping the U.S. workforce. According to Analysis conducted by the Pew Research Center, preliminary numbers from the Census Bureau showed that the number of immigrant workers declined by 1.2 million between January and the end of July. That number includes migrants in the country illegally and legal residents. In recent days, the Trump administration signaled it's looking to step up immigration enforcement in more U.S. cities. And a new report suggests binge watching your favorite shows may boost your memory. Researchers from the University of Georgia and Michigan State University studied 540 graduate students who binge watched television. The study found that people who binge watched TV shows for long periods of time developed retrospective imaginative involvement, or RII, which means continuously thinking about stories after completing them. According to the study, a person who binge watches TV may pull fulfilling memories from their session and use it to cope with stress throughout their day, possibly increasing their well-being. And if you're finished binge watching and need something to do this fall, well, you're in luck. Whether you're into haunted houses or just a good old-fashioned hayride or pumpkin patch, the Four States area has something to offer everyone as temperatures begin to drop. You can head over to our website, kwmnewsnow.com, for a list of fall events. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture is warning Americans not to eat some batches of Trader Joe's uncured pepperoni pizza. The agency says the product, which was imported from Italy, did not receive import reinspection before it was shipped to stores in California. There have been no illnesses reported in connection to the product. The affected pizzas have been pulled from store shelves, but Americans are urged to check their freezers and return them for a refund. And that's a look at Consumer Watch. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've still got some scattered showers and thunderstorms developing in our western counties this morning. A few scattered showers and storms for all of us today, but again, not everyone necessarily will see rain. And we're tracking the potential for severe weather Wednesday evening. Details on all of that when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now, 5:43.
What are some of the highest rated restaurants when it comes to customer loyalty? The answer in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. USDA is lowering its projected ag trade deficit for the year. It's now projecting the deficit to be $47 billion for fiscal 2025. Now that's down from what it predicted in June. It's also forecasting the deficit will continue to drop in fiscal 26, which starts in October. Soybeans are expected to take the biggest hit as U.S. exports are expected to fall. Now, exports to China, they're forecast to be the lowest since 2007. Mexico and Canada would remain the top U.S. markets. An egg recall has been issued by California-based Country Eggs. It involves cage-free sunshine yolk eggs sold under the name like Noguchi Produce. They were sold from June 16th through July 9th. The CDC and FDA saying the eggs have been linked to a salmonella outbreak. No deaths have been reported, but the CDC says there have been 18 people hospitalized. Now, if you're into a more casual dining experience, Market Force Information is releasing its latest casual dining industry study. When it comes to its customer loyalty index, Logan's Roadhouse came out on top, vaulting from 9th place last year. The survey says it was a combination of customer satisfaction, likelihood to return, and other things such as friendliness, atmosphere, and value. It scored well ahead of second place, which was Keg and Bahama Breeze. For more ag news, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
Now here's Chris with the full look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are going to start with the Skywatch Storm Tracker because it's already got some showers, few rumbles of thunder in our western counties out there, so we'll start there with that activity. First, we have a couple of light showers here in Greenwood County. They've developed back behind this bigger cluster of showers and rumbles of thunder down south. We've got them stretching back around Fredonia, kind of in between some showers. Neodesha, you've got some light rain moving in. Howard, then north of Oak Valley, back towards Sedan, and the northwest of Independence, Coffeyville, you'll eventually be in on this shower activity. We stretch down into Newada and Washington counties. Get some heavier rain around Lenapaw, Newada, Bartlesville, Copen, Oshaleta, and back toward Oolaga. And of course, some of this developing back down toward the Tulsa area, so northwest of Owasso and near Claremore as well. So if you are heading down south or heading southwest on the Will Rogers Turnpike, just keep in mind a few showers out there. Be prepared for some potential for some heavier rain. Nothing strong, nothing severe with any of this, and this activity again is moving south and east. So that's why, again, Independence, Coffeyville, you may be dry now, but you will not be for much longer. And depending on how well it holds, might even clip into parts of Labette County, eventually into Craig County as well. And we'll have additional opportunities for isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head through today. So we have the chance anywhere in the area, but not everybody necessarily will see rain today. Once we get to about 8 o'clock or so, should be done. We're looking at partly cloudy skies overnight, staying dry, and we'll be dry, warmer, a little more sunshine for most of our Wednesday, but that is what's going to help set the stage for the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms tomorrow evening. One of the things that has not changed is the timing. We're still looking at after 6, maybe a little closer to 7. That's when we'll start to see showers and thunderstorms pushing into our far northern counties, and those will continue to push off to the south and east, and some of these storms initially could be strong to severe through about 11 o'clock. So they don't look like there's much here, but some of these still could be a bit on the strong side through about 11. Then we're just looking at some isolated showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder through the very early morning hours on Thursday by 5 a.m. Couple of showers left, and then that's going to be the end of the rain chances as we go into our Thursday. So once we get through Thursday morning, after again 5, 6 o'clock, we're done with the rain, and we'll start to clear out and be warm and dry with more sunshine on Thursday. However, we did talk about it yesterday. The Storm Prediction Center had mentioned when they put out that level 1 out of 5 risk, which was roughly in this zone in southeast Kansas yesterday, they said they were looking at some data that suggested they might need to knock it up a notch, and unfortunately, they have done that. So we're breaking down the threats now. We're getting closer. We do have an isolated tornado risk across portions of southeast Kansas, but the bigger concerns are going to be with hail and wind, and with these hash marks, we're talking large to very large hail is a possibility, and we could get some damaging wind gusts 60 miles an hour or greater. And then, of course, that level 1 out of 5 risk has been expanded across most of the area as well, surrounding the level 2 out of 5 risk. So a lot to keep an eye on as we head into Wednesday evening. Through the morning, again, mostly cloudy, some isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms, mid-60s by 8, mid-70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today right around 80 degrees, lows tonight back to 60. That's what I was talking about. We're warming up tomorrow, low to mid-80s. A few lingering showers early Thursday, then otherwise partly cloudy, upper 70s. Got a pretty nice weekend ahead of us, warming up a bit more next week with a few more shower and thunderstorm chances to start the next work week. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with sports.
All right, thanks, Phil. Frontenac Raider football prepares for the 2025 season following a disappointing playoff exit last year. The Raiders dominated last year, going 9-1, but a loss to Perry Lecompton in the regional playoffs ended their season all summer long. Frontenac's returning players have worked hard to be a better and more cohesive team, and it all starts with the leadership of junior quarterback Brogan Smith.
We only returned 2 guys that had a lot of varsity experience on the offensive line, so it takes time to get those guys to mold, but they've done a nice job. We're work in progress, but we're getting better every day. Do your job. All of us do our job. Things will be good for us. The more sure we are of ourselves, the more confident we are in ourselves and our teammates, the faster we can play, and that's what
Smith returns as field general for another season, but we'll see a lot of new faces for the Raiders in 2025. Frontenac will lean on juniors and seniors becoming true starters for the first time, especially on the offensive line, which needs 3 new guys to step into starting roles.
It prepared me a lot last year, just really getting into the groove of things, starting my first year, getting to know the guys, getting to know the Coach Miller's offense, and the loss to Perry Lecompton, I think it lit a fire under all of us, so we're ready to get back this year and get after it. This summer we got back in the weight room, showed up to football every day, relearning the offense, helping getting younger guys more comfortable, and just getting ready to start the season against Galena.
The Raiders open up their season this Friday against Galena. Last year, Frontenac took down the Bulldogs 27-0 in the season opener. Let's look at sports. We'll be right back. Well, the winning numbers for Monday night's $1.1 billion Powerball jackpot are 8, 23, 25, 40, and 53, with the red Powerball 5 and a power play of 3. This jackpot ranks as the 5th largest in Powerball history. And scorching temperatures brought crowds to Southern California beaches this weekend, but dangerous surf made for a challenging few days in Newport Beach. Lifeguards reported more than 1,000 rescues as strong rip currents and large waves put swimmers at risk.
I never play like those lotto ticket things, but yesterday I did buy a Powerball ticket. I should have brought it with me because you never know. You could be looking at that ticket and be like, hey, I'll see you all later. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. It's one of those things we talked about in the past too. Like, what do you do with all that money? Like, yeah, people are like, oh, I'll quit my job. You'll be bored. I've taken, a week vacation, and by day 3, I'm bored. I need something to do. But maybe somebody out there is now a $100 millionaire if you take the cash option. Not bad at all. Our weather, not too bad. We've got isolated to widely scattered showers and storms for us as we head through the morning. Mid-60s by 8, mid-70s by 11. And while the entire region has a chance for rain, not everybody will see rain today, but we'll have those isolated storms continuing through the afternoon and early evening hours into the upper 70s, near 80 degrees for those highs. Heading into the evening, once we get about 8, little after, rain's done. We'll have partly cloudy skies late evening and overnight, and another cool one back down to about 60. Tomorrow, though, is the day we're watching, and we're watching it very closely. We had a level 1 out of 5 risk for parts of southeast Kansas yesterday. We've had that upgraded to a 2 out of 5, and that 1 out of 5 risk is now spread across most of our area. Now, the primary concerns with storms tomorrow is going to be for very large hail and damaging wind gusts, but an isolated tornado or two is also possible. The timing's still looking to be the same. After about 7 o'clock is when this starts moving in. So you've got all day Wednesday, get things done, whatever you need to, and then just make sure you're home, keep an eye to the sky, keep the KOAM Skywatch weather app, and of course keep us handy. We'll be tracking those storms as they move through the area tomorrow evening. We're warmer too, helping set the stage. Low to mid 80s Wednesday. Few lingering showers early Thursday. Those clear out. The weekend doesn't look too bad. More rain chances to start next week. That's Check Your Forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.